People ask me sometimes, how in the world did Love Packages get started anyway? Well, maybe there's some of you don't even know what Love Packages is, so let me start with that first. What we do at Love Packages is we collect used Christian literature, all your old Bibles and Sunday school materials and daily devotionals, Christian books and paperbacks, reference material, Christian magazines, things that just kind of sitting around collecting dust all across the United States. We collect those things and then we sort them, repackage them, and ship them overseas to people who don't really have very much at all. In the spring of 1975, I had a little stack of Decision magazines from Billy Graham, some daily devotionals, and a couple Bibles sitting in the corner of my dining room. And every time I walked through there that spring, God pointed his finger at me and said, "Steve, you're wasting that." Now, I don't know whether you're like I am or not, but I argue with the Lord sometimes. Not too smart, but I do. And so I was arguing with the Lord, and I said, "No, Lord, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to file that. I'm going to put a little filing, prepare lessons with it." And he said, "No, you're not. You're going to leave it sit there. You're going to spill a Coke on it one of these days. You're going to throw it away." And I didn't really know what to do with this stuff, you know. I mean, I was working on the street at the time. In the middle of the night, you know, I'd go out on the street and talk to people who was druggies and drunkards and those kind of things, and you just can't go up and give them a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old magazine in the United States and expect people to be thrilled about it. So I didn't know what to do with these things. So long story short, I wrote to some men overseas. I wrote to 5 guys in 4 different countries, and I asked them, "Can you use English literature, and if so, how much and how soon?" And it seemed like the letters were only gone a couple of days. The letters were back and said, "Yes, we can use English literature as much as you can get here, as soon as you can get it here." So I didn't know everybody had a whole bunch of stuff. I didn't know everybody had a bunch of stuff that they didn't know what to do with anymore. And so my wife and I just started collecting our own from our church. But then as I would talk to people, I'd go to the Calvary Baptist chicken dinner or the Free Methodist pancake supper, and then see friends there that I knew. They'd say, "What have you been doing, Steve?" I said, "Well, I've been collecting Bibles and Sunday school materials and things like that, and I've been sending them all around the world." I go, "Wow, we've got a whole closet full of that stuff at our church. Would it be okay if we bring ours over to you too?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I guess so, you know." So the first year my wife and I did 60 little boxes, little 12-pound packages that we sent to these 5 men. But as people would get the word, pretty soon we had people bringing it in from everywhere. And that second year we did 3.5 tons. And then the next year we did 7 tons and then 11 tons. And it started in the basement of my home. We outgrew the basement and went to a double-car garage and outgrew the double-car garage, 20-some tons that year. And every year it's grown. And over the last several years, the last 4 years in a row, we've went over 1,000 tons of literature each year. Give you an idea what that is. That's enough literature for 50 million people to read every year. 1,000 tons is 50 million pieces of literature. Now, the people that do the statistics tell us that every piece of literature we put on the field, every book, every Bible, every Sunday school book, every one of them is going to be read by a minimum of 20 people. And so 50 million pieces times 20 is 1 billion reads every year for the last 4 years. That's our brochure, and that's what we send out. If you'd like one, we'll send you one. Just write us, Love Packages, 220 Union Street, Butler, Illinois, and we'll send it out to you. And that kind of gives you a little history of how we got started. Thanks for watching. Tell somebody else.